Your Grace, how's been these months away from Westeros since the end of the show? How's it been for you?
It's been good. It's kind of it's crazy to think that it's gone forever. Just as you get used to it, then you have another thing. Like we were at the Emmys the other week, and then we're all back together, and it's like, wow, I really miss everyone here. But it's great. No, life is good.
Well, now it's beginning a new era for Game of Thrones. The time to celebrate all the amazing creativity. What can you tell us about this exhibition? What are you most excited for fans to see?
I don't want to give any specifics because you should just come here and appreciate all of it. This is an art exhibition in its own right. Even if you've never watched Game of Thrones, you can come here and just appreciate the incredible craftsmanship and artistry that has gone in to make these costumes. In the same way that you'd go and see a fashion designers exhibition, you absolutely must come here and appreciate the armory and the costumes and the props. And of course, if you are a Game of Thrones fan, there's so much here for you. You will want to spend hours here just marveling at all these costumes that you know so well, and it will honestly look like you've never seen them before because it's so different. You get a great idea of how they look on screen, but you really need to see them in person to appreciate all their majesty. There are so many little details that just you miss on screen. So you should just come here, book a load of time, and just soak in all the detail.
Take a lot of pictures, yeah. Back in May, you said that you only got to take from set like some kitchenware, wooden kitchenware. Since we are surrounded by all the magnificent costumes and props of the show, what could you take if you could take anything of the exhibition? What would you bring home?
Very good question. I would love one of the swords, like Oathkeeper or something. I'd love one of those, beautifully gilded swords.
Okay.
Yeah.
What can we find about Bran in this exhibition? What can we discover about your character?
Well, you get to see this fabulous costume up close, which is the costume I wore all throughout season 7 and 8. All the costumes here are completely real. They're not replicas. They're not dummies. So that costume is really the Three-Eyed Raven's costume, which I think is quite cool and quite interestingly, they appear to have cut my head off. But you've got the gloves and you've got the kind of Bran look, which is quite cool. That is kind of pretty much exactly how I sat for an entire season. So it's pretty cool to get to
Was
see
it
that.
comfortable, or was it really tired to be all time sitting on the chair?
I mean, I really can't complain. There are plenty of people who had it much worse. I'm not even going to try and say it was hard. It was pretty straightforward.
Before you talk about the Emmys, it was your last big reunion of all the cast and crew. How was that night? Was it as special as we saw on TV?
It was so much fun. It was. I think that's one of my favourite ones we've ever had. There was a really good bunch of us, and we just had a great time. We sat by the pool all day, chatting to each other, catching up. The actual, winning it, sending Game of Thrones off with a win for Best Drama was just almost too good to be true. We were so thrilled that we got to leave with that, because we were quite nervous at points. We were thinking, "Ooh, no, this isn't going to happen." So we were really happy to walk away with that.
A lot of nominations too, so it was a big night.
Big night.
Do you still keep in touch with some of them, or?
Yeah, of course, we all keep in touch. And it's really nice at sort of events like these, you bump into each other again. And also, the film industry is such a small world. You're always bumping into other people on projects and things like that. But Dean Charles Chapman, he died years ago in the show. He died in season 6. I talk to him nearly every day. He's a very close friend of mine.
Oh, That's great. And since this is a celebration for fans, I'd like for you to remember how did the Spaniard fans behave when you came shooting here, because we're pretty intense.
I love it. Everyone was so sweet and would very sweetly wait outside for hours and hours on end for us to come back from set, and we'd all come out and sign and come and take some selfies, and my resounding memory is just of how friendly and sweet everyone was and how excited and polite. We had a great time when we shot in Spain. I'm very happy to be back here.
I'm happy that we set a good example for fans around the world. You didn't have the chance to share screen with a lot of big characters in the show. Was there anyone that you would have liked to have more screen time with?
I mean, loads of people. I think the nice thing was in the final season, everyone did come together. So most of the people I wanted to act with, I was getting to act opposite, which was great fun. I really enjoyed suddenly getting to be in scenes with Daenerys. That was really cool, because that was a storyline I never thought would intersect with my own. I would have loved to have done some scenes with Tom and Baratheon, just because he's my very best friend, Dean. I'd love to have been on set with him.
And as a last question, do you think Bran's reign would have been one of the longest, or do you think?
As I understand it, the last three-eyed raven lived for a good 1,000 years or so. So buckle up. It's gonna be a long ride with Bran.
Okay, well, thanks a lot, and thank you for coming with all these amazing costumes and props, and hope to see you soon.
Come and see it. Thanks very much.
Thank you so much. Thank you.